Origin Just UX, and this is the most gangster grocery store on earth, Costco. I heard about Costco many times apparently, don't know much about it. This was the channel, The Fat Files, the secondary one. Okay, the most gangster series is back, but it's about a store now. I've seen, what is it, one or two video from Fat Files about a store, right? Which surprised me. Again, Fatrician's whole motto is that surprise you with things that you thought simplistic, right? Basically, he does this job so well, it's just better than Hollywood to hype things up, right? So I don't know, but this is gonna be like some similar that way. I always assume all these like Costco, Walmart's, right? Aldi's, like the video he made, Trader Joe's, right? All of this just like a shop. Some guy opened a shop and it's just like a superstore type of mall type of way. I didn't know they itself has certain different elements to it. That's the one thing I'm realizing. Like every chain has their own uniqueness to it, which really separates them, right? And they are really unique in their way. So I don't know what's the deal with Costco, but I hear about that a lot. So it's going to be interesting. Remember, if you like my Rickson, don't forget to subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. Comment down if you want to do any specific video. And yeah, let's do this one.
Yes. Profitable grocery stores on the planet through nothing other than psychological tricks and magic. Today we're talking about Costco. We all know what Costco is because the members of Costco never shut up about Costco. They're just out there in the world roaming around, non-ironically wearing clothing from Costco's in-house brand, Kirkland, desperately waiting for anybody to ask them what Kirkland is so that they can inform and educate, preach the gospel to these non-believers that Kirkland is actually manufactured by name brand manufacturers and the products are cheaper and better than any other name brand product. And if that's not what they're up to, they're out there flashing their Costco membership card, trying to use it to get laid, and it's working a shocking amount of the time, apparently. And there's a good reason for that. Costco is selling all of its products at a net zero, meaning they don't make any money when they sell you something. In fact, some of their items, they even sell at a net loss, meaning the more they sell, the more money they lose. Yet somehow, they still manage to pay all their employees well above their competitors and have a net...
How do you flex something that is so in the basic? It's like, I don't know, flexing a grocery store or store card because you think it's a flex. Flexing the same things, t-shirt and things. Like, how good, what kind of a psychological warfare you did so you're that level of cool? A lot of luxury brands basically die trying to just do that or make that level, right? When Supreme shit happened, they would be like, what the fuck, did this actually work? Like the level of, and like the feeling and chemicals released in their brains would be enormous, much higher than anything like crystal meth or LSD can do, right? So how did Costco basically went to that level where people are like wearing it's like some kind of like a flex or luxury brand, right? Costco, just like, it's like Gucci or something, there you go.
Profit of over $6 billion a year. And I'm going to explain how that's even possible right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Rocket Money, your all-in-one finance app that's going to help you cancel subscriptions, lower your monthly bills, and overall manage your money better. Rocket Money covers pretty much everything. They will let you monitor your credit score. They help you manage your budget by letting you see all of your expenses in one easy location. And then if you want them to, they can actually go in and help negotiate a lower price on some of your bills, like your cell phone, for example. And they don't just save you money by negotiating down some of your bills. They also help you identify and cancel a bunch of subscriptions that you probably didn't even know that you had. And this is my favorite part because me and my wife, mostly my wife, has a horrible habit of signing up for free trials on apps and then forgetting to cancel them. But luckily, Rocket Money's here to let me know that I've been spending $7.99 a month every month for the past 3 years on some photo editing app that my wife used one time for an Instagram post. Yeah, babe, what's up?
How many guns did you buy this year?
No comment. Wait, what? How do you even know I'm talking about you right now?
He's outside the door.
A, don't worry about it. B, keep my name out of your mouth.
All right.
Don't look
I
around.
gotta finish the ad. I gotta go. Love you.
Don't look around. See, that's the thing. The most basic way to spy on something is use the most common thing you can. So basically, she probably bugged your camera, right? And somehow receiving feed, or either she's outside the door. Who knows?
That could have went better. Anyways, if you want to take control of your finances today, go check out Rocket Money. I will have a link in the description down below. Let's get back to the video. There's a baby monitor in my office. All right, so Costco. Our story begins in 1954 with a man by the name of Saul Price who convinces his mother-in-law to buy a warehouse as an investment property. However,
His name is
mother-in-law
Saul.
wasn't a commercial real estate mogul and had no idea what to do with this warehouse. So Saul Price is like, you know what? Fine, I'll rent the warehouse from you and I'll put a business inside of it. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'll figure it out. He then stumbles across a brilliant business known as Fedco, which is essentially a large in-bulk grocery store that offers very, very cheap groceries to its members, and the only way that you could be a member of Fedco was to work for the federal government. So Saul Price approaches Fedco and is like, hey, you guys have a great business model. I've got a big empty warehouse. Let's partner together. We'll make this a Fedco also. It'll be great. Fedco is like, nah, we're good. At which point Saul Price is like, okay, that's fine. Well, I'm just going to steal your business model because you can't.
I mean, it makes sense. They specifically did that for the federal government. I mean, if they wanted to make more money, they would make it like more open, right? So they have very specific goal in mind, like expanding just like that I don't think that would fall into that category.
Selling groceries at a discount to members, so I'm going to open up my own equivalent of your store called FedMart. The only difference is instead of selling groceries cheap to members, I'm going to sell groceries really, really cheap to members. Like, I'm almost not going to make money off of selling groceries, and I'm going to charge them a $2 membership fee. Okay, and this business model seems...
Oh, what? He did that back then? I mean, I understand economics of this type of strategy. Oh, that's so cool, man. So Costco's been doing that from... So you take a membership, pay whatever membership fee that is, and then you get really cheap prices. Is that it? So basically this relies on, like, a large customer and paying in whatever small fee in advance, so you can basically circulate that money and make profit that way, right? I mean, a lot of companies do that in today's world, especially something like, what is a Grubhub or something that you have in US. In India there's like Zomato and things like that, right? So they also like kind of make money that way too.
Kind of weird, but it's actually genius. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci once said that simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication, and that's what's going on with this business model. If you don't know, grocery stores are probably one of, if not the most competitive retail environments on the planet. The profit margins on food in grocery stores is so razor thin, it's crazy. And what FedMart has done with this business model is essentially said, I'm not going to compete in this highly competitive environment. I'm going to sell my groceries at net zero. I'm not going to make money. I'm just going to break even on everything I sell, and I'm gonna make all my money off of charging a monthly subscription fee of $2 to let everybody shop at my grocery store where my stuff is the cheapest because I'm not making any money off of it. I have no profit margin there. So if the customers shop here enough, they're gonna save enough money to offset.
Wait a minute, what do you mean by no profit margin? Do you mean literally the price that factory pays you? Because at that point you're not at net zero, you're losing money. Because it takes money to, like, transport, store, manage, pay employees and things like that. So are you counting that into like factor?
At their membership fee, saving money overall, I'm gonna make money, and it's a win-win for everybody. In its first year of business, FedMart does 4 times its projected amount of profit, and they end up opening a bunch of more stores within a couple of more years all across the United States. Within 5 years, by 1959, FedMart goes public and continues to be outrageously successful. Fast forward to 1975, a German conglomerate company buys up the majority of the stocks in the stock market, and they assume control of FedMart. Now, these German investors assume control of the company, and naturally, they're like, wow, what a brilliant business strategy. It's so simple, it's physically painful. All I have to do is change nothing and rake in money. But you know, it'd be cooler if we re-German engineered the entire thing. I bet we could get 3% better performance if we made this like 1,000 times more complicated. So that's what they did. They German engineered the company.
Hold up there. You just made a video about Aldi, which is also German, like how great and sophisticated that is. Like how, I mean, I get it, like Germans are known for like, OCD level shit, overcomplicating things, but that's like outer edges of what they do. In the meat of it, right? They're known to engineer things which is supposed to be, right? Engineering hub of the planet. So I would have assumed they would have made more efficient, like what should we do, where should we put, even at the micromanaging level, just so it can be more efficient. I think they probably done after that. I don't know. Because that's what the Aldi thing was, right? Like how it's perfect, it's generic thing, but it's just like, it just works. How aisles are just, yeah.
And by 1983, completely out of business and shut down. So Saul Price is like, I made a ton of money going public with my business. They ruined it. It's closed down. There's no other company like mine. I'm going to start the exact same company.
What a Chad.
So he buys an empty aircraft hangar and starts Price Mart with the same exact business model.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Now, around the same exact time, Saul Price.
Don't want to post too much, but this is like really okay. Why did nobody else do this again? He did the Fed Mart, right? Germans bought it, but then again somebody else would. Oh, they're doing something nice. Why are we not doing it? Why did people didn't copy his idea? Did he trademark it? Can you trademark that? You can trademark membership. So why did nobody else did that? I'm guessing whoever was big were already their competition, right? And they didn't like that element. And anybody else, I guess, didn't catch on to it. But this is such a good idea. That's the thing. If you want to get big in the world, basically, you need some ingenious idea. You can't do any other way. Oh, by the way, that guy's doing this way. I'll just do that. No, you're not going to be able to do that because that guy's already doing it. You need something new. Depends on the like how much intensity there is, like how competitive the market is, but still.
His old protege from FedMart, a guy by the name of Jim Senegal, ended up opening up his own business with his business partner, a lawyer by the name of Jeff Brotman. And that business was Costco, that also had the exact same business model.
There you go. So now somebody does it. Back then nobody did. Before German bought it and like ran it to the ground. Now they realize like, okay, we can do something.
Costco and Price Mart end up being competitors for a little while, and then they eventually end up merging together and they form Price Costco, and then it just becomes Costco, and this is what we have today. And modern day Costco really hasn't changed their business model. They still run a net zero on almost all of their products, and they make 92% of all of their money off of membership fees. So if Costco wants to make more money, they have to A, maintain the members they have,
advertise
and B, get more
8%.
members. So how do you do that? You be competitive. You have the best prices, which check, Costco already does because they run everything at a net zero. They're not making money. You can't get better prices than what Costco already has. So what else can they do to improve their business? They have to make shopping there fun, and that's exactly what they do. Okay, and this is where the psychological warfare and magic comes into play, all right? Because the second you walk up to a Costco, you have to pull out your membership card, and on the back side of those Costco membership cards, it's literally a photo ID. Like, you're not getting into this exclusive club unless you are a member.
Never cross the rope.
No, but my friends are on the inside.
Lose them.
Hey, watch it on a bleeder.
Okay, so right out of the gate, you already feel exclusive. You feel like a boss walking up to the bouncer at a nightclub, and he just opens up the velvet ropes for you and waves you in because you're a member. And the psychological warfare just keeps going from there, right? Because the first aisle that you walk into, by design, is the expensive electronics aisle, okay? You sitting there, you're looking at like, "Oh, shit, do I need a $4,000 TV? I probably
PlayStations.
shouldn't. Okay, I'm not going to get the TV." And then you go about your shopping and you think you did a good job, right? They did that shit on purpose because now you think to yourself, oh, wow, I just saved $4,000 because I didn't buy a TV the size of my garage door. So now you're like 10 times more likely to...
Oh my god, what a psychological warfare. I love it. I bet they basically hired a few geniuses, or at least people with high IQ and PhDs or some shit, to work out this one, right? Like back then it was obvious that TV is like, you know, all-time great thing, right? Like that's never gonna run out. Doesn't matter which time it is, like great big TV is always gonna be a thing. But PlayStations and things like that, right? I mean the aisle about like, okay, TV, fine, I didn't bought the TV, but now I saved the money so I can spend it somewhere else. Did you save the money? Or did you just save the temptation? And PlayStation thing like, there's a high chance that will always sell. Because there was a time like very specific geek type of people played very specific game. Then it became like, okay, with the Nintendo and shit, like a lot of people play this game. Then in like early 2000s, right? Like decent amount of like mostly boys and things, but they also played game. But nowadays, like doesn't matter, boys, girls, man, woman, no age matters. Even the old people play video games. So consoles are the like that market, right? PlayStations, Xboxes. There's a higher chance that would sell first, right? Or at least the temptation thing still would work. Like somebody, then they would go out behind and buy something else that they didn't want. That is so good, man.
Impulse buy something else for yourself because you feel like you just saved
Hold up, they buy these TVs at the base price as well? PlayStations as well? So PlayStation's MRP, whatever it is, everywhere else, in Costco it's lower because they're selling at net prices? You are kidding me. How do they even have stock left? Because groceries is one thing, electronics would be different. iPhones and things, those are at base prices as well?
$1,000. So all of a sudden, that $80 purchase that you're going to splurge on doesn't feel like a big deal, and that is what makes the shopping fun. Within 3 minutes of stepping foot inside of Costco, they've already made you feel like an exclusive member of their club, and they have convinced you that this is no longer a shopping trip, this is a trip where you get to treat yourself.
3 words for you: treat, yourself.
And now they're about to turn the entire shopping trip into an adventure because Costco uses what they call the treasure hunt strategy, which basically means Costco is constantly moving around all of their items to different locations. So no matter how many times you go to Costco, you never know where you're going, okay? You're on a constant hunt for the milk, the eggs, the bread, and then you're running across like LED high-speed internet toasters for $80, and you're like, holy shit, I need that. And while that's going on, you've got an army of...
Oh, that is so genius. Like, you can't bitch about that. Like, it's my store. Like, I just realized that would be more beneficial if I put it there. You can never bitch about that or like even sue them. It's my store. I can move around things. That is so good.
Women constantly trying to give you samples of food.
This is not pudding.
And while that's going on, there's no lull in the action. There's never a delay in the adventure that you're having because Costco doesn't have very many items, okay? Costco, on average, has about 3,700 different items available in one of their stores compared to like Walmart that has over 50,000. Okay, this means there's no choices to be made, right? A normal grocery store...
I think you should make a Walmart video because somehow I know Walmart is too overpowered. Why is that? Walmart doesn't do the same thing as Costco, and I know Walmart makes way too much money than Costco makes. He's like one of the most richest people on the fucking planet. It's the family. The whole family is rich.
Has an entire aisle of 700 different types of salad dressing. You know what Costco has? A fucking pyramid of ranch. It looks like you're getting the ranch, huh? Keep the adventure moving. But I like having a lot of options. No, you don't. I know you think you like options, but you don't. People's actions say otherwise. Almost nobody appreciates having options. Watch this, I'll prove it to you. I'm gonna call my wife and I'm gonna very tactfully give her 0 options about where we're gonna go to lunch today. And then I'm gonna call her tomorrow and I'll edit it in and I'm gonna give her all the options in the world and we're gonna see which one she actually prefers.
Hello.
Hey, guess where I'm taking you for lunch?
Where?
Mexican restaurant.
Ooh, okay. I'll be ready in 15 minutes.
All right, love you.
Love you, bye.
See you in 24 hours.
Hello.
Hey, I'm hungry. Where do you want to go for lunch?
I don't know.
You want Chinese?
No.
Mexican?
No.
Burgers?
No.
Italian?
Yeah, no.
All right, you figure out where you want to go and then let me know, okay?
Okay, fine.
All right, love you. Fucking science. Moral of the story, whether people know it or not.
I mean, that is kind of true. I know the psychology behind that, obviously. I feel it every day. Even though, since I know it, I try to avoid that. We are so overwhelmed with everything. Whether you really need to sit down and really think about your life around it and think how people's life used to be. We are so overwhelmed by all type of choices, regardless of what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Even the water has choices, like which type of water you can drink or want to drink, right? So when you have too many choices, like if you're 18 hours, you basically are up, right? Not sleeping. During that time, if there's like an hour or two of time where you have to like have this kind of a multiple choices type of element, you'll be fine with that. Your mind would be happy. But if you're inundated with that 18 hours a day, right? Obviously, in your job, things are going to be complicated. But besides your job, most of the time, if you're just inundated, right, you're going to hate that. And one day it's fine, 2 days fine. Now it's every day, month, a year, multiple years, right? And you're like, oh, well, rich people problems. No, it's not rich people problems. It's everybody problem. Doesn't matter who you are. There is an element of choice everywhere, right? And it's a good thing that we have choices. But people start to like, oh, come on, just give me something that I want. Give me just one sauce. Give me just a ketchup. Which type of ketchup do you want? Do you want this in ketchup? Do you want to avoid garlic? Do you want to do this? Is this the company? By the way, this is organic one. Like, what the fuck? I just want a damn ketchup. Which is the best company in this country that has like better health thing, and I'll just buy that. People basically Google that. But when the shop just give you, by the way, this is the ketchup. Do you want it or want to go to some other store? I have a Costco membership. I would have go somewhere else. So there you go. I trust Costco.
They actually hate having too many options because it makes you think, and when you have to stop and think, you have to stop, which breaks up the action, right? If you're having sex with somebody, you don't want them right in the middle of it to be like, hey, did you lock the front door? Like, I don't give a shit. Unless there's a Velociraptor that kicks down that door, I'm in the middle of something right now, okay? Let's keep doing this. And this is true for like almost everything, right? You think Ice Cube would be one of the greatest rappers of all time if right in the middle of his song, Today Was a Good Day, he stopped and gave you a fucking pop quiz on geography? No. No, just enjoy the song and listen to it and you're happy. So when you're shopping at Costco, this is an adventure. This is a treasure hunt and there's no thinking and there's no breaks in the action ever. You're having a blast. And if that wasn't enough, the aesthetic of the overall store is absolutely incredible. Remember going to a normal grocery store when you were a kid and your mom couldn't find something and she goes up to the employee and is like, do you have this? And they're like, no, we don't have it on the shelf. And your mom goes, she says the magic words, oh, can you go check in the back? And you're like, the fuck is, what's in the back? What's going on back there? Guess what? Costco, you're in the back, okay? I'm 99% sure that we're living in a simulation and Costco is the spawn point for all of the stuff. I mean, it's gotta be, right? Costco's got like food and clothes and electronics, you know, the common loot, but they've also got the rare shit that you can go find. So when Mrs. Fat Electrician gets sidetracked smelling 15 different types of candles, I'm going on a side quest to find something cool. What am I looking for?
Yeah, so in India, basically, this obviously India is becoming like that kind of a capitalism style, still capitalism, but like more America reflection type of way. So chains are rising up, obviously. Mostly in India, like if you want something similar, then there are malls, right? Big ass malls. Malls are like branded by some big company like Reliance or something. Reliance is like one of the biggest companies, basically fourth richest guy is Reliance, right? So Reliance Mall, this mall, basically if you go into mall, it's like Costco, but not in the purchase way, but it's just like everything's just there. But it's like section of shops inside of one huge building, right? So it's something similar like that.
I have no idea. I'll know when I find it. Okay, Costco's the only grocery store on the planet that you can just wander off and end up finding a signed jersey from Magic Johnson in 2024 when he retired in 1996. Okay, you're just looking at it like, what is happening right now? And then you look over and you're like,
Seriously?
oh, there's a ring that costs $340,000. And you're just looking at it in your hand like, this literally costs more than the house that I live in. I'm fucking stealing this. And you're like,
Okay, that's insane. That kind of variety is insane. Wait a minute, there must be like, you must go through a section. This feels like higher security people there and just like shelves and things like, okay. I'm sure that's the case. No way they would just like, okay, this is going to be easier to steal. No way that's the case. That is insanity, man. That level of variation.
No, I can't. You put it back, and now you feel like a good person.
You can't steal it. It's not about going to jail, but your Costco membership card would get cancelled. That's the worst thing.
And Costco is boosting your self-esteem. So you get done shopping, and then you realize you're hungry. You have developed an appetite from adventuring for the past 2 hours, and holy shit, Costco has a food court. So you go over to the food court, and you're like, you know what? I haven't had a hot dog in 15 years. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna order a hot dog and a soda. They ring you up at the cash register. It's $1.50 for a hot dog and a soda. Okay, and just to be clear, this isn't like one of the normal little bullshit hot dogs that you like give to the kids at the barbecue while all the adults are eating steaks and burgers. No, this is the fucking hot dog that she tells you not to worry about, okay? This is a fucking, you went to a baseball game and got one of those big ass novelty hot dogs, size hot dogs, and that plus a soda with free refills was $1.50. So then, because you're a good person, because you didn't steal that ring.
Wait a minute, that's way too cheap. Even in India, you can get shit like that. $1.50. What is that like? 120 rupees? No, you can't get shit for that. Like, come on. A big hot dog and a Coke? No, that's impossible.
You politely inform the cashier, I think you messed up and accidentally gave me the hot dog for free and that's just the tax. And she's like, no, it's $1.50. We haven't raised the price on the hot dog combo since 1984 when we came out with it because of the principles of the matter. Do you understand how crazy that is? 1984 was 40 years ago, okay? We've had more inflation than that house from the movie Up since then, and they've refused to raise the price.
Okay, you know what? I love it because, most things get costlier because like added things on top. Somebody buys something, now there's a tax on that. There's a profit margin on that, then somebody else comes with something on top that has a tax on that has a profit margin on that, and there are layers of things. By the end of whatever you have, it's like insanely costly. Costco sells everything with no profit, so taxes are going to be lower, right? Profit margin is basically not there. They're going to use their own things to make you a hot dog, so it's going to be cheaper plus cheaper. Everything this is an awesome strategy, man. Just a membership. Everything else you get cheap. There are no layered things, right? Yeah, when the GST came out in India about sales tax, before that there were like 3-4 taxes that got layered on top and it made it something like 30+% or something. And GST like, okay, we're going to remove all that and we just want to make one thing is 18%. We just like take a rebate off if like it applies to double for whatever reason, subcontract, contracts type of way. And this is basically something like that, right? Like things don't get layered on top, which is basically what you have with smartphones and things. iPhones, does it cost $1,200? No. But there are layers that get accumulated because there's so many elements you have to bring in from different countries, and like profit over profit, different companies add to things.
Price, okay? Dollar Tree is now $1.25 tree, and this hot dog is still $1.50. So then you go home full and happy, but still fascinated by this $1.50 hot dog. So you decide to look into it. How is it possible? Was that actually meat inside that hot dog? What is going on here? And then you Google it and you hear the famous Costco hot dog story, okay? Apparently,
Wait a minute, the horse thing, that was Costco thing? Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute.
the higher-ups at Costco came to the owner, Jeff Sinegal, at this point in time, Saul Price's protege, and they're like, we got to sell this hot dog for more than $1.50. At which point, Jeff said, and I quote, "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out."
Whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to head down there, and I will rain down an ungodly fucking firestorm upon you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you. I will fuck you up.
So that's what Costco did. They figured it out in what is probably the most gangster way possible, right? They didn't want to sacrifice the quality of the hot dogs and have just horrible hot dogs. So they're like, you know what? The only thing we can do is to build our own hot dog manufacturing facility, and one of them's not going to be enough. We're going to build two of them.
Wait a minute, I remember the Clarkson joke, Jeremy Clarkson, something with a horse. Was that Costco? I'm getting confused here. Where was like meat turned out to be horse meat or something? Where that was? I don't know.
One in LA and one in Chicago, and then we can control the price of hot dogs. And this figure it out attitude doesn't just stop at the hot dogs. When Costco wants something done, they get it done, okay? Here's another example. They wanted to build a new Costco in LA. And here's the problem with that. Getting anything done in the state of California, especially a major city like LA, is an absolute nightmare. California is not rated very well as...
You sell what? $1.25 hot dog? What about tax? What about margin? What about even more margin there? This is LA. We sell like $800,000 for a homeless shelter. Are you kidding me? You're not doing that shit here.
As far as being business friendly goes, and it just takes forever to get anything done, right? You want to put up a new building, you got to have environmental impact studies, all this other bullshit. You got to pay a bunch in fees. It's just a complete nightmare. And
It's so ridiculous. Near $1 million. I understand like what is a price, bracket is in America, right? I know people there. There are certain people living there. I know how costly things are there. $1 million for a homeless house that a government is building is insanity. That's way too insane.
Take 20 years for them to put up a 300,000 square foot warehouse. But they had a new rule that due to the housing crisis, they would expedite immediately any projects that had affordable housing. So Costco is in the process of building a Costco in the middle of LA that has fucking apartments on top of it, just so they can start slinging $1.50 hot dogs. In conclusion, Costco is the most gangster grocery store on the planet. Their slogans are do the right thing and more is more, and that about covers it. Thank you for watching.
Make a movie, make a show like what is a Mad Wars? That lawyer thing, right? From the old series type of that become more famous. What was his name? Something, right? There's way too many series which just show this ingenious process of things. Make a show on Costco. Some badass show with that meeting where the Costco CEO says like, I'm going to kill you if you do that, and like many layers to it. You can't do that, man. Come on. What is Hollywood doing? Making all the shitty fantasy, witch this, sorcerer that, magic that. Like, who gives a fuck?
To support the channels, go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com, and from now until August 30th, every single item purchased out of my merch store, whether it's a sticker or a hoodie or a shirt or a beer koozie, is going to get you one entry to win a custom Steelhead Outdoors Fat Electrician gun cabinet. And second place is going to get a custom Steelhead Outdoors.
Yep, there you go. Oh, wait a minute, there's more. I'm like 1 second left.
Box. And third place is going to get a big care package from Wiley X, my favorite glasses company. So yeah, go buy some merch. Thank you for watching. Quack bang out.
Yep, there you go. This blew my mind, man. Costco strategy is so good. I'm surprised people are not like jumping to that even today. I guess you need to be ingenious. You need to know the market. You need to know like how things are going to work. You need to know people as well, I guess. I don't know. You need to make sure everything works fine. And you need the strong mentality that the owner has, right? right? I don't care what, you're not raising that price, and that matters. This is 90%, this is psychological warfare before anything else. And in a good way too, right? I mean, everything's a psychological warfare. Psychology is where we live, right? So all the stuff, fine enough. Like if you have like strong willpower, like you're gonna be fine probably. And yeah, but in the end, the hot dog thing, right? In the end, if you go there, like, oh wait a minute, I'll eat for $1.25 whatever. That's nothing. You're gonna get treated like this. You know you're buying everything at base prices. Why would you not do that? And people are going to buy shit. That's the one thing. All the studies of past 10, 15 years, we come to this conclusion. Regardless of what, if you have money, if you live in good enough condition, first world country, you're going to spend money. That's the thing, right? Saving money is not in people's mind, apparently, unless you get really rich too. There's a threshold where you're going to spend money. If you go beyond the threshold, you'll try to invest and things like that. But you're going to spend. People are going to do that. So this is a better way of doing it, right? Like you're getting everything at base price. You are getting what you want. Right? Especially something like TVs and branded things. That is like just, there's a brand, there's a price. You're getting below MRP price. What more do you want? Right, well, that was the most gangster. Seriously, this is the most gangster grocery store. Why the fuck we don't have it? Like, does Costco don't want to expand? Right? Base prices thing, figuring out in India, like how to get raw material and try to sell things base way here. It would work really well. It's a big ass market. Right? India has 1.4 billion people. You can think of at least like few 100 million of them would be rich enough to like matters, right? And that's a lot of population in major cities and things. Costco would really work here, right? Look at McDonald's and Subway and things. They're really working fine here. Domino's has been working here for like near 20 years. Very well. All right. I guess I'll see you next time.